Embarking on a spiritual journey unveils a transformative path that is both profound and deeply personal. It's a venture that reshapes one's understanding of self, the universe, and the intricate web of connections that bind everything together. At the heart of this journey lies the reality of spiritual awakening, an experience often spoken of in hushed tones, whispered like a secret too sacred for the uninitiated. Yet what is this awakening, and why is it something only those deeply immersed in their spiritual path can truly comprehend? The reality of spiritual awakening is not a singular event, but a series of moments, insights, and experiences that gradually peel away the layers of illusion and misconception that cloud our true essence. Have you ever had a moment so piercing in clarity that it felt as though you were seeing the world for the very first time? This is the essence of awakening, a profound realization that there is so much more to existence than what meets the eye. At its core, spiritual awakening is the recognition of our interconnectedness with all that is. It's an understanding that we are not isolated beings navigating through life in solitude, but rather part of a vast, intricate tapestry of existence. This realization brings with it a sense of unity and oneness with the universe, a feeling that can be both exhilarating and terrifying. How does one grapple with the immensity of being part of something so vast, so infinite? This awakening also ushers in a profound sense of empathy and compassion. When we see ourselves in others and others in ourselves, how can we not feel a deep, abiding connection to all beings? The suffering of others becomes our suffering, their joy our joy. But with this heightened sensitivity comes a vulnerability, a rawness that can be overwhelming. How do we navigate the world with such an open heart without being consumed by it? Moreover, spiritual awakening challenges our existing beliefs and perceptions. It asks us to look beyond the surface, to question the narratives we've been told, and to seek a deeper truth. This process can be disorienting, shattering the foundations upon which we've built our understanding of the world. Yet it's also liberating, offering freedom from the confines of limited thinking. Have you ever questioned the very fabric of your reality, only to discover a truth so profound it changes everything? The journey of awakening is not a linear path, but a spiral, moving us ever closer to our true essence while revealing new layers of understanding and insight. Each step forward is a step into the unknown, requiring courage, resilience, and an open mind. How do we muster the strength to continue on this path, knowing that each step may challenge us in ways we cannot yet comprehend? And yet the call of the spiritual path is irresistible for those who hear it. It's a call to adventure, to discovery, and ultimately, to a deeper understanding of the mystery of existence. This journey is not for the faint of heart, but for those who are called to it. It offers rewards beyond measure. The reality of spiritual awakening is a profound truth that reshapes our entire being. It's a journey of discovery, of learning to see the world and ourselves in a new light. For those who have experienced it, it's a transformation that cannot be undone, a shift in consciousness that forever alters the way we perceive reality. How will you respond to the call of spiritual awakening? And where will this journey take you? In the luminous journey of spiritual growth, there exists a paradox that often goes unseen by the wider world, yet is intimately familiar to those deeply immersed in their spiritual path: the fragility of spiritually awakened individuals. This fragility is not a sign of weakness as one might initially presume, but rather a testament to the profound sensitivity and openness that comes with true spiritual enlightenment. But what does it mean to be fragile in a spiritual sense? And why is this considered a strength rather than a vulnerability? Spiritually awakened individuals navigate the world with an open heart and mind, which allows them to experience life in its fullest depth and breadth. Have you ever felt so connected to the beauty around you that it moved you to tears, or so empathetic towards another's suffering that it felt as your own? This deep sense of connection and empathy is a hallmark of spiritual fragility. It's a raw openness to the world, a willingness to be touched and moved by life in all its forms. However, this openness also means being deeply affected by the pain, suffering, and injustice in the world. The more attuned one becomes to the interconnectedness of all life, the more acutely one feels the discord and disharmony. How does one bear the weight of this awareness without being crushed by it? How do we maintain our equilibrium in a world that often seems out of balance? The answer lies in the transformative power of vulnerability. Vulnerability, often misconstrued as a weakness, is in fact a profound source of strength. It requires courage to remain open in a world that can be harsh and uncaring, to choose empathy and compassion in the face of suffering and indifference. Have you ever considered that your most vulnerable moments might also be your most powerful? Spiritually fragile individuals understand that their sensitivity is a gift, one that allows them to perceive the subtle undercurrents of life and connect deeply with others. But this gift also comes with a responsibility, to care for oneself amidst the openness. How do we protect our energy and spirit, ensuring we don't become depleted or overwhelmed by the intensity of our experiences? Self-care becomes paramount on the spiritual path, not as an act of selfishness, but as a necessity for maintaining one's ability to serve and connect. This can include practices such as meditation, spending time in nature, creative expression, and seeking support from like-minded communities. What are the practices that replenish your spirit, allowing you to remain open without being overwhelmed? Moreover, the fragility of spiritually awakened individuals drives them to seek out and create beauty, harmony, and healing in the world. Recognizing the interconnectedness of all life, they are often at the forefront of movements for social justice, environmental stewardship, and compassion for all beings. How can your own sensitivity and fragility inspire you to make a positive impact in the world? In embracing their fragility, spiritually awakened individuals also learn the art of resilience. Resilience does not mean hardening oneself against the world, but rather developing the flexibility and strength to weather life's storms with grace and maintain a heart that is open and loving. How do you find strength in your fragility, and how does it shape your journey through life? This fragility, this exquisite sensitivity to the world, is a double-edged sword that cuts to the heart of what it means to be spiritually awakened. It is both a source of profound insight and connection, and a challenge that demands continuous growth and adaptation. For those walking the spiritual path, understanding and embracing their fragility is not just part of the journey, it is the journey itself. So, as you reflect on your own spiritual journey, consider the role of fragility in your growth and awakening. How has it shaped your understanding of yourself and the world around you? And how can you nurture this fragility, turning it into a source of strength and wisdom? One of the most profound realizations that dawn upon those deeply entrenched in their spiritual journey is the understanding of spirituality as a marathon, not a sprint. This realization brings with it a shift in perspective, a re-evaluation of one's expectations from the spiritual path, and a deeper comprehension of the patience and perseverance required. But what does it truly mean to view spirituality as a marathon? And how does this perspective change the way we approach our spiritual growth? The metaphor of a marathon beautifully encapsulates the essence of the spiritual journey. A marathon is not merely about the start or the finish, but about every step in between, each breath taken, each moment of doubt overcome, and each burst of strength found within. Have you ever considered your spiritual journey in this light, valuing the process as much as, if not more than, the destination? Viewing spirituality as a marathon requires a fundamental acceptance of the slow and often imperceptible nature of spiritual growth. Unlike a sprint, where the results are immediate and tangible, the transformations wrought by spiritual practices unfold over months, years, and even lifetimes. How does this realization impact your expectations and your patience on your spiritual path? This long-term perspective encourages us to cultivate qualities like persistence, resilience, and patience. It teaches us the importance of consistency in our practices, whether they be meditation, prayer, service, or any other form of spiritual discipline. The daily commitment to these practices, even when we do not see immediate results, is what propels us forward on the path. Have you ever felt disheartened by the slow pace of your progress, only to later recognize the profound changes that were quietly taking shape? Moreover, viewing spirituality as a marathon helps us to understand and accept the ebbs and flows of our spiritual journey. Just as a marathon runner faces hills and valleys, moments of strength and periods of fatigue, so too do we encounter highs and lows in our spiritual quest. How do you navigate the valleys of your journey, and what keeps you going when the path becomes steep? This perspective also emphasizes the importance of self-compassion and kindness towards ourselves. Just as a marathon runner must listen to their body, adjusting their pace and taking rest when needed, we must also be attentive to our spiritual and emotional needs, allowing ourselves moments of rest and reflection. How do you practice self-compassion on your spiritual journey, especially during moments of struggle or doubt? Another crucial aspect of seeing spirituality as a marathon is the recognition of the value of community and support. Just as runners often draw strength and motivation from the cheering crowds or their fellow competitors, so too can we find encouragement and inspiration from our spiritual community. These connections can be a source of strength and a reminder that we are not alone in our journey. How has your spiritual community supported you, and how do you support others in their journey? Ultimately, understanding spirituality as a marathon imbues us with a sense of humility and awe for the journey itself. It reminds us that the path is long, winding, and full of surprises, and that each step, no matter how small, is a vital part of the journey. It encourages us to keep moving forward, to cherish each moment of connection and insight, and to remain open to the lessons and transformations that await us. So, as you reflect on your own spiritual journey, consider how viewing it as a marathon might shift your approach. How might patience, persistence, and a deep appreciation for the journey itself change the way you walk your path? And how can you nurture the qualities that will sustain you over the long haul, enabling you to embrace the marathon of spirituality with grace, resilience, and joy? Amidst the myriad experiences that define the spiritual journey, there lies a fundamental truth often realized by those deeply engaged in their spiritual quest: the profound joy and fulfillment that come from helping others. This truth, while seemingly simple, reveals a profound aspect of spirituality that transcends personal growth and touches upon the essence of our interconnectedness. But why is the act of helping others so integral to the spiritual path, and how does it transform not only those we help but ourselves as well? The act of helping others, or service, is a powerful expression of love and compassion. It's a tangible manifestation of the understanding that we are all connected, that the well-being of one affects the well-being of all. Have you ever experienced the deep sense of satisfaction that comes from assisting someone in need, a feeling that resonates within you long after the act itself? Helping others offers us a unique opportunity to step outside of ourselves, to transcend our personal desires and concerns. In doing so, we open our hearts and minds to the experiences and needs of others, fostering a sense of empathy and compassion. How does focusing on the needs of others shift your perspective on your own problems and challenges? Moreover, the act of helping others is a powerful vehicle for spiritual growth. It challenges us to put our spiritual beliefs and values into practice, to embody the principles of kindness, generosity, and selflessness that lie at the heart of many spiritual traditions. How have your acts of service reflected your spiritual values, and what lessons have you learned from these experiences? Engaging in service also allows us to witness the transformative power of kindness and compassion. We see firsthand how even the smallest act of kindness can make a significant difference in someone's life, how a simple gesture of compassion can light up the darkest of times. Have you ever been surprised by the impact of your actions on someone else's life? And how did that impact your understanding of the power of kindness? However, helping others is not without its challenges. It requires us to confront our limitations, to acknowledge that we cannot fix everything or help everyone. This realization can be humbling, yet it also teaches us the importance of setting healthy boundaries and practicing self-care. How do you balance the desire to help others with the need to care for yourself? Furthermore, the act of helping others invites us to reflect on our motives and intentions. It challenges us to consider whether our actions are truly selfless, or if they are driven by a desire for recognition or validation. This introspection can be an essential aspect of our spiritual growth, leading us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our motivations. How do you ensure that your acts of service are rooted in genuine compassion rather than ego-driven desires? Ultimately, helping others enriches our spiritual journey by connecting us with the essence of our humanity and the divine. It reminds us that we are part of something larger than ourselves, that our lives have meaning and purpose beyond our personal aspirations and achievements. It shows us that through service we can touch the lives of others in profound and lasting ways, and in doing so, transform our own. As you contemplate your own spiritual journey, consider the role that helping others has played in your growth and development. How has service deepened your spiritual understanding and connection? And how can you continue to use the gift of helping others as a tool for personal transformation and as a way to contribute to the well-being of the world around you? In the vast expanse of the spiritual journey, there lies a profound realization that dawns on the seeker: the journey is without end. This understanding, far from being discouraging, opens the door to limitless growth, exploration, and discovery. It suggests that spirituality is not a destination to be reached, but a path to be walked, infinitely. But what does it mean to embrace a spiritual journey with no end? And how does this perspective shape our experiences and growth? The notion of a never-ending journey may initially seem daunting. After all, humans are creatures of milestones and destinations, often measuring progress by the goals we achieve and the endpoints we reach. But what happens when we shift our focus from the destination to the journey itself? How does our understanding of progress and fulfillment evolve when we realize that the spiritual path unfolds eternally before us? This endless journey invites us to embrace the present moment fully, to recognize that each step on the path is as significant as any perceived destination. It encourages us to find joy, learning, and growth in the process of becoming, rather than in having become. Have you ever paused to appreciate where you are on your spiritual journey right now, acknowledging the beauty in the unfolding rather than yearning for some future state of enlightenment? Embracing the journey's endless nature also fosters a mindset of perpetual openness and curiosity. When we understand that there is always more to learn, more depths to explore, and more heights to aspire to, we remain open to new experiences, teachings, and perspectives. How has maintaining an open and curious mind enriched your spiritual journey and led you to discoveries you might otherwise have overlooked? Moreover, the realization that the spiritual journey is without end brings with it a sense of humility. It reminds us that no matter how far we have come, there is always further to go, always more to understand and integrate into our lives. This humility keeps us grounded, preventing the ego from co-opting our spiritual achievements. How has the recognition of your journey's endless nature helped you stay humble and grounded in your spiritual practice? The endless journey also invites us to redefine our understanding of success and achievement in spiritual terms. Rather than measuring progress by external milestones, we learn to appreciate the subtle shifts in our consciousness, the gradual expansion of our hearts, and the deepening of our connection to the divine. How do you measure success on your spiritual path? And how has this perspective shifted over time? Furthermore, the journey's infinite nature emphasizes the importance of patience and perseverance. Just as a long-distance runner finds strength and resilience in the rhythm of their steps, so too can we find spiritual fortitude in the steady, ongoing practice of our faith and beliefs. What practices have sustained you on your spiritual journey, and how have you cultivated patience and perseverance along the way? Ultimately, understanding our spiritual journey as endless opens us to the mystery and majesty of existence. It allows us to live in a state of wonder, continuously amazed by the unfolding mystery of the divine and our place within it. It teaches us to live our lives as a sacred exploration, an endless adventure in consciousness and love. As you reflect upon your spiritual journey, consider the liberating possibilities that come with embracing its infinite nature. How does this perspective shift your approach to spiritual growth and your understanding of your place in the universe? And how can you continue to walk the path with joy, humility, and an open heart, knowing that the journey itself is the destination? Thank you deeply for joining us on this profound journey to the end. Your presence and engagement mean the world to us. If this resonated with you, please like, comment with your insights, and subscribe to our channel for more spiritual explorations. With love and gratitude,